All right, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for coming out here to the Barbershop talk today. Lawrence, Emperor, Sigma, Blaze, Ray, everyone listening. Uh, Good afternoon. Welcome to the panel. Lawrence, how you doing today, bro? You there? Hmm. All right. Not hearing anything on it end. Maybe
Okay, how's that?
got you now.
I'm sorry, that's my bad. I gotta get used to this new microphone set, man.
Ah,
I keep hitting the button the wrong way.
gotcha.
But anyway, I'm sorry. What I was saying is shalom to you, shalom to everybody in the chat, and I said I'm doing great. How about
Okay.
yourself?
Great. Yeah. Got another one here today. I I've been deliberating over some things, because what's going on in the nigga sphere.
Hmm.
Uh,
Which has to do why I'm feeling great. So, you know,
and everybody
yeah,
up there,
because we talk about it.
yeah, yeah, we
So,
have, and that's the thing. Nothing's that surprising, and
no, not
after
really.
doing, you know, after doing some deliberated work, and got to shout out the specialist for the work he did.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty
oh
awesome.
yeah.
So, which is why I had to put that little piece in there about the whole interfaith thing. But anyways, but basically on the title of abandoning freedom to obtain security, and which ended up being the quote from Thomas Jefferson that I ended up going with, even though both said basically the same thing. And when you abandon freedom to achieve security, you lose both and deserve neither. And when we speak of this in context to different stories in the Bible, um, all the tellings, is just time after time, this is what they did over and over again. What was your thoughts on this? Coming from Judges 10, 6 through 14, Lawrence.
It was accurate. And it's funny because hold on a second. There was something in particular in that I was gonna make a if I can remember what line it was.
Okay.
Well, you know what? It doesn't even matter. I don't even need the exact line. The thing is how many people he listed he saved them from.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was
Time and time
several.
and time again. And then I thought to myself, when people get upset with me about how easy it is for me to walk away, and I remember that last line where he said, "Go cry to the ones you were talking to. Leave me alone. I'm not doing
Right.
nothing for you." I mean, it was perfect. I mean, and it's funny because we talk about trying to live a life that that's similar to the Messiah and to what the Most High wants us to do. And if you look at their actions, if we're to emulate that, then we're right on point with our thought process. Because if he
Mhm.
wouldn't do it, why would we do it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
and people get upset with us, but I mean, seriously speaking, he says it himself. He's going to do it. The Messiah is going to do it. Okay, so then I guess we're supposed to too. And Judges is not the only section that
Yeah,
tells
yeah,
us
yeah.
that. You
Exactly.
know,
There's several books within that huge book that it goes into that
That-
every time. They gave up their own power and freedom for what they thought would be, different amenities for security. They thought it would be. It was only temporary.
mhm.
They gave it up time after time.
Yep. Yep.
And it's
And
amazing.
then yeah, and I don't want to go into the manosphere thing. I don't
Yeah.
because that's not the place for this. But I do want to make the analogy that you could somewhat see that similarity between colored men giving up their freedom for the security of what a woman can bring. Does that make sense?
Temporary,
Yeah, yeah,
temporary relief.
yeah,
Temporary relief.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. No, it's right in line. And here's the funny thing, because time after time again, they, these hoes been oppressing and crushing their spirit for
yeah,
over 60 years.
yeah,
And they keep going back. It's awesome.
yeah, and
It's
and
awesome.
and yeah, yeah, and that's the microscopic because when you start moving out on a macro level, then you see colored folk as a whole,
Mm.
both black, both male and female, moving into a concept of a society, regardless of whose society it is, white, Asian, whatever. But you see them moving out into that space, and they're giving up the things that they know, common sense wise, and their little bit of freedoms because they want to be part of the crowd and ride the wave with the crowd. Not realizing that that wave eventually is going to crash into something that it can't get through. It's weird, man.
Well, you know what? No, to me, they ain't trying to ride the wave of the crowd. They look, they're going in willingly wanting to serve those masters.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Whoever
Well,
they want.
well.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah,
They're,
yeah, I
they're,
agree.
they're willingly going into slavery, essentially.
Hmm. Happily.
Yes, happily.
Happily.
Happily. Happily.
Happily.
And yeah, until all those temporary um, securities are gone. Then, of course, then you hear the whining and complaining. And but hey, yeah, I
Well,
mean, you
yeah.
went in. You went into that.
Well,
You walked into that.
well, we talked about it before. You know how
Oh
it's
yeah,
going to go. The securities are going to go out the window.
of course.
Because there's another saying besides Jefferson and Franklin, and I can't remember off the top of my head who said it, but we all heard it. I mean, we've all heard it, and it's like, first they came for this person, and I said nothing. Then they came for the next person, I said nothing, so on and so forth, until eventually they
Mm,
came for me. And there was nobody to say anything for me. That's
yeah,
what they're going to get.
yeah,
As a matter
yeah.
of fact, that's only the first phase of what they're going to get. Because the second
Mm,
phase is when the Messiah himself comes back and he starts cleaning house. Then, just like we've talked about before, all of a sudden it's going to be about, oh, I didn't know. Oh, so and so told me to do this. Well, he was the pastor. I followed him, and nah, man, nah,
yeah.
none of that's. He's gonna tell you to kick
And,
rocks. I mean,
and
I mean,
yeah,
seriously.
and that's why whenever it got to the point where it said that he sold them into the hands of the Philistines and the Ammonites. That's
Hmm.
why I had to follow up by saying he really hasn't sold you into the hands of your masters. You've willingly and foolishly gone into slavery yourself, and he just said, "Hey, let them people rescue you." I mean, you've been calling to them the whole time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
hey, let them rescue you.
Yeah, because nothing in that passage in that chapter says it. Because generally something like that will happen because they did something, and he'll punish them for it, and then another people will come in and take them. That's not the case in this passage.
Yes.
That's not the case in this passage at all. Because that's generally how it goes. You don't follow what I say. Another group will come in, take them, make them slaves, etc., and so on. That's not what's happening here. They made the choice themselves.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
like you said, they willingly walked into it on their own, and
Yes.
now they're screaming, come help me, come help me, come help me. He's like, nah, man, yo, them other people you were calling? Go ask them.
Yeah. Exactly. And to Sigma Jones' point, colored folks are willing to trade in freedom to be a puppet of the state. Why else would W.E. Du Bois say that Negroes went back into slavery? Correct.
Hmm. Yeah,
I like that T on the end of the colored
yeah,
symbol.
that was yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was pretty
but
funny.
but yes, yes, exactly. They're willing to trade in freedom to be a puppet
Hmm.
for temporary relief, and then complain about it later on. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and and it's for everything, man. It's for whatever concept they think is safety or riches or whatever it is, man. I never understood, if you're talking about an immortal soul, how do you trade that so willingly for stuff that doesn't even compare?
Well, you know what? I don't. Hey, look. Damn, an immortal soul. But how do you trade the pride of your own identity for that?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't get
yeah,
I can't get that either. I mean, but that's why I had the image of that quote by Thomas Jefferson: "When you abandon freedom to achieve security, you lose both and
yeah,
deserve neither."
yep, yeah, yep. And it's I like I said, man, and again, like the saying goes, many are called, few are chosen.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's one of those things that I can't remember who I was talking to when I said this, but it's one of those things where, you know, here's the truth of all of it. Scripture, faith, manosphere, whatever. This is the truth of all of it. They will never understand us, and we will never understand them. because we are working in two different minds. And now don't get me wrong, we have a better chance at not necessarily understanding all of it, but we have a better understanding. We have a better chance of understanding their motivations than they'll ever understand ours. How about that?
You
So,
know what?
because
Here's
it's
the
like
thing.
it's like a wise, like I mean, not to be funny, but it's like us being wise men. We can see them for the fools they are, but because they're so foolish, they can't see us for the wise men that we are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, I got you. And here's the thing. You know what? I understand them. You know, Thomas Jefferson had another quote. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. With them, it's the opposite. Well, yeah, yeah, with them, it's the opposite because they're too weak to be responsible for that dangerous freedom. So I understand them. Yeah, I understand them. Period.
Mm-hmm.
They're just that weak.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty much, pretty much. And I know on Hulk's last stream, he was making some good points, man, about it's easy to say you're this, you're gonna follow that until the hard moments come.
Mm,
And I was sitting there and I was
mm,
thinking about that while I was listening to it. And I'm like, yeah, 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 that's solid. Because I have seen that in my life.
right, right.
People like rock solid. I believe, I believe, I believe. As soon as the hardship came, boom, they flipped 360.
Yeah.
And
And
then
sometimes it's not even that hard.
no, it's not. I mean, it's something. It's something so minor. It's
Yeah,
retarded.
yeah,
I mean, it's something so minor. And then I started to think to myself, because it's just what we do. Started to like internalize, and I started to run through me in my head, and I'm like, yeah, nope, never had that problem. I'm good.
and, and that's the thing. That's the other reason why, I don't believe in trying to make promises I can't keep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's why I say, it's certain things, hey, look, I'm 38 years old. It's certain things I'm not finna tell. I'm finna sit up here and pray, ask the Lord to say, hey, look, I'm not gonna do this. Now, look, dog on that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, you know me and I know me. Hey, look, I'm gonna fall back on some of this stuff right here.
Yeah.
But
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting too, because we talked about this before as well. Our relationship with him, or with the two of them rather, is not dependent on them giving us stuff. That's a big problem with pretty much.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like
that's
going
99.99% of human beings.
exactly, going back to the zero thing, the genie rubbing. You
Yeah.
know, I don't. It, for me, the bulk of when I'm talking to him, in all honesty, always has to do with asking him to watch over the children of Israel, watch over my family, keep me strong. That's it. I mean, that's the bulk of my requests whenever I talk to him. You know, make sure my mother's healing okay, my brother's healing okay, his kids are. I ask for other people that they be, you know,
Yeah.
taken care of. But yeah, but outside of that, um, as
And
a
I
psalm, but you got to pray and sit on your butt until the Lord sends your blessing. No need to put, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's the point.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the point
yeah,
I was trying to make.
yeah, yeah,
Because that's when you really see the difference, and
yeah.
that's one of the things. That's one of the things that set me off about stop going to churches a long time ago.
Mm.
It was always praying for more money for a building fund, or for a youth thing. I mean, it was always asking for something. I didn't come in
Mm-hmm.
there for it to be begging, because that's what it seems like to me. You're begging, and don't
Ain't
get me
no seem
wrong.
like yes, exactly.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I know he says, "Ask and ye shall receive," but I mean, come on, man. I think he's talking about things of more important value than physical and material items. You know what I mean?
Well, of course he is, but you know, I mean, okay. It makes me think of this quote that who was it? Was it Willie D or Chuck D? when he was on C-SPAN, it was back in the 90s, and he said, "What do you got when you give a fool $1 million?"
A,
You
f-
got the fool with $1 million.
a full million, yeah, a full million,
He's still a fool.
yeah.
So I
Hmm.
mean, you got fools begging, asking to have gifts given to them that they ain't got the sense to know what to do with it when they get it.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's one of the things, whenever I pray, it's always been about greater understanding. I have prayed, for certain individuals I know for him to handle whatever health situations in the way that he feel best need to be handled,
Exactly. Exactly.
and leave it at that.
Yeah. Exactly. Because that was similar to the thing with my sister. Because I initially was praying that he heals her, you know what I'm saying, and helps her get through this. And then I don't know. One day I was like, I keep asking you to heal her, but that could just be prolonging her suffering. You may be ready to take her
Right.
now. So then I changed it, and I was like, I ask that you heal her. You know what I'm saying? If you desire her to stay here, that her recovery is quick and the least painful. But if you are here to take her, then may I request that you take her swiftly and painlessly as possible. And the next thing I knew, in less than 36 hours, she was gone.
Mm.
I was like, oh, okay. And that's why I keep saying the things about you got people have to pay attention to what and how they're praying,
Mm-hmm.
because if you don't get your words right, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
because a lot of people don't, they ask for things and don't even understand what they're asking for, what it means to have it, much less are you asking for it
Mm-hmm.
properly. Asking for a new car means nothing, because the next thing you know, you'll get a 20-year-old broken down hoopty. You can't get mad. You ask for a new car. For you, it
Wait,
is new.
wait. Not only
you,
that, no dog
you
on that.
know
No dog on that. Sometimes he gonna give you exactly what you asked for, but you ain't got the means to do it. So yeah, you get this new 2020 something, and now hey, you can't make the payments on this sucker.
Exactly. That's the other thing. Because like I want a house. Okay, you get a house. Now what? You got no money for the mortgage. You know what I'm saying? You got no money for repairs. I mean, if you got a
Mm-hmm.
pipe burst, like me last month when the pipe burst here, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have your stuff in order, man, to be able to fix that, or you're gonna be
Yeah,
living in sewage,
yeah, yeah.
you know?
Uh,
Because
and
because for me, like I said, because like we talked about the gasket between the pipes for me had finally gone. So when Sam took a bath, the water, instead of going down the pipes, it seeped out, and it like literally went from the bathroom on the other side of the wall, and it flooded out to her entire room. So the entire carpet was
yeah,
done. Now think about what I'm saying. Now I have to cut a hole in the wall, so I'm gonna have to get that replastered. I had to get the gasket so the pipe can be fixed. Then I had to turn around and I had to pull up the carpet and the padding and replace all of it, because that's going to turn into molded mildew and you'd be breathing that
right.
in. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. People ask for things, but they don't think about the little nuances that have to come with that over
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
You feel what
And
I'm saying?
that's
So so
why.
so so for one mistake, I ended up having to do like three different things in three
Yeah,
different rooms at that, because the
yeah.
pipe was actually in the Reese's room. So we
Right.
had to cut into the closet from there. You see,
Yeah.
and people, like I said, people don't think about that. They just
Right.
ask for something without thinking what the consequences of receiving it is going to be.
That's why. That's why. Zero's um, um, analyzation of the whole genie in the sky, of how everybody does this thing, how everybody uses it, was so appropriate and accurate.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, and Sigma had this.
Oh,
Lawrence got exactly when Yahweh showed me how the universe works and how to bring up manifestations. I lost all respect for churches and religion.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, that's one of, I don't know, maybe about 10 things, and I think maybe it landed at number 4 on my list. But yeah, that stuff used to annoy me. I didn't, like I said, I didn't come in here to pray for material things. I didn't come in here to keep dropping $5 and 6 plates that keep coming around during a 3 hour service. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of the reasons why I like being here, and I like being over at Hulks, because when we talk, whatever the topic or sermon is, that is what we talk about. Nothing else extra, and it never goes longer than what it needs to go. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
And
know,
that's the thing.
because you'll have one guy, and you could tell when they didn't do work prior. They'll read one passage, which is about maybe one or two sentences, and then they try to stretch that out into 2.5 hours, and they have said nothing. I mean,
Well,
literally nothing.
they go into old nigga tales.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what they do. They go into old nigga tales, and that's the one thing that what made me want to do this channel is I noticed you had everybody and their mama whenever they wanted to show up, they show up for church, put on their best dress outfit, so they could they prance around and have all the spotlight on them. But nobody would hardly ever be there for Bible study.
Nope.
Where you could get the most out of everything. I preferred Bible study. It was interactive. I could question them. I could say something, which I say something, I would say something during service, period. If they, I mean, don't ask no question and meant for it to be rhetorical. Now, I'm going to say something. You might not like what I say, but I'm going to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's why I prefer Bible study out of all of it, because to me that was the one where you actually got something out of it.
But in all fairness,
If it's done right.
well, yeah. But in all fairness, take this in consideration.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why Bible study makes more sense to me is because, from my interpretation of everything I've read, everything said to do that. I don't remember seeing anything about giving sermons.
Right, right.
Other than the Messiah himself. He gave sermons on the mountain, stuff like that. But he's the only one in there in that whole book who gave sermons. Everybody else was doing Bible studies and teachings.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So to me, that seems more rational in my head, because in order to be, I guess for me, in order to give a sermon, you have to be a master. And that is what the Messiah is to me. That's why when we talk, you hear me call him master, because that's what he is. He's my master. And I'm not just saying that to be cool or sound silly. I mean, to me, in my mind, he is my master of everything. My domain, my life, my spirit, my family, whatever. He is the master of it all. But so with that being said, he's the one who can give the sermon to me. Everybody else is just like me, a student of study. Does
Gotcha.
that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I was saying it
Yeah,
right or
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, I don't yeah. I don't claim to know it all. I'm learning
Yeah.
every day. And that's one thing, the moment when you think you can stop learning is the moment that you have no further use for society or God.
Yeah, you have, yeah. No further reason for existence at all.
Yeah, yeah.
At all. And that goes back to what I said a couple of times before about two things. One, bro, it's okay to be wrong, man. I mean, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to have somebody correct you. It's okay for somebody to tell you this ain't the way it's supposed to be done. You got to take that in the spirit it was given. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Which is generally supposed to be love. But like we talked about before, you got brothers nowadays, man, who just, I mean, they just can't be wrong. I mean, you could see their brain melting in their head, even when the proof is in front of them, they wrong.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then there's the other thing, that even if you are right, okay. So sometimes there's people who ain't gonna want to hear it, gonna want to argue you down. What do? You walk away. Don't make you a coward. You just walk away. You just walk away. Oh, you a punk. You can't have no argument. Yeah, because especially women are quick for that. You ain't
I,
no real man. You walking away. You can't handle a word. I said, nah, baby, it's not even nothing like that. I'm good.
I, you know,
Because we weren't sitting here to argue with fools. We weren't.
and bitch ass niggas are just as quick as the hoes.
Yeah, yeah.
I just it's
Hmm.
just as quick as a hose, man. So
Hmm.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
but
comical for me.
yeah, but again, for them, all of that is for the sense of them thinking they have some kind of freedom and liberty, but they don't. They man, they've given up their liberty, they've given up their freedom, they've given up, you know, the possibility of eternal life. And I say possibly because,
Hmm.
some people hopefully will wake up and, see the way. So I can't rule that out because it still does happen. Um, but yeah, man, they just gave their freedom and liberty away for the
Yes.
sake of whatever. I mean, and that's why I said what I did earlier. I mean, they're literally doing it, and then they're not even really getting anything for it. I mean, if you're trading your immortal soul, man, I mean, you got to figure it's worth more than just the little trinkets you're getting. I mean, you don't even have any value in yourself. I mean, what?
Well, and not only that, I mean, I, Israel was getting even less.
Hmm. Yeah.
They were getting even less.
Yep.
But they willingly walked into it. I mean, Sigmund Jones has said it before. You know, color folks would walk into slavery literally with a smile on their face.
Some of them have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
No, seriously,
yeah,
some
yeah.
of them
No, yeah,
have.
yeah, 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 yeah,
It's again, it's the same thing it always is. It's because it absolves them of consequences and responsibility. That's it.
yeah,
That's the bottom line of it.
yeah.
That's the bottom line of it. Because in a way, to walk willingly with a smile on your face into slavery is literally like walking up to a jail and saying, "Put me in." Because I can't run everything on my own. So I'm gonna let
Yeah,
the prison guard tell me how to do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, seriously, I don't know how else
yeah.
to look at that.
Right. That's about it, you know. And it's not quite like Otis's version of going into the jail. At least he could get the key out and get out whenever whenever
Yeah,
he was good.
yeah. You let yourself in and out whenever you feel like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but but I don't what am I looking for? It it's only going to get worse,
Oh yeah.
and I know for some people that almost sounds like me saying "let it burn," and maybe to some degree it is, but that's not my point. My point is that those of us of faith, it might be frustrating to see, it might be frustrating to come across, but we do also know deep down inside these things must be to get to the end result.
Mm, mm.
You know what I mean?
Well, whether it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
going to be.
Yeah, it must
Ain't
be.
no, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can't.
Yeah.
There's no getting around. It's going to be.
Scripture.
Went out again. Yeah. But yeah, uh, Lawrence trying to get his audio together here. But I want to.
Sorry, am I
Oh, you
there?
good? Yeah, you're here. You're
I'm
here.
sorry, I hit the button again. I swear I gotta get this thing. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear
Okay.
you.
No, what I was saying is that it's interesting because you look at all the other books, they talk in such broad language, but if you notice, by the time you get to Revelation, it started to get more specific
Mm,
on exactly what and who.
mm.
Don't get me wrong; it's still talking in generalizations, but it's more narrowed down and focused than the other ones. At least to me. At least to me.
Okay. Uh, I guess all the others, the practicalness in it was so narrowed down enough to where it was enough for me to absorb and be able to use that information anyways.
Oh
Maybe it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
me and how my mind works, but Um, I I can't speak for others.
Well, it's written in its most basic language you can get,
Yeah,
you know, and also warned us not to add to it or take away from it.
right.
So,
And I don't know. I don't know. I guess I can see the poetry of it in its simplicity. Um, some can, but
mhm.
it's it's pretty simple to me.
No,
Uh,
there's definitely a poetry to it. There's no question to that.
oh yeah,
And yes, it is simple. It really is because a lot of people's like well, man, I don't know how you live like that, man. That's such a restrictive lifestyle and yada. I said, how is it restrictive? Well, you can't do this, you can't do that. So, but even if I didn't have these laws and commandments, here's my question to you: why would I want to do that anyway?
mm,
I mean, seriously, what is hanging out every night till 2 in the morning mean?
mm,
What does chasing ass all day mean? You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if I didn't have the commandments and statutes, my questions would still be the same. What is the purpose of that? You know what I mean? That's just who I am to begin with.
right, right.
So you know what I mean? But there's a lot of people who think that when we follow the statutes and commandments, that somehow we're restricted in life and we're not happy, or we're always reserved, or we can't do things to have fun. It's the farthest thing from the truth.
Well, that's because like that right there is who you are at your core.
Hmm.
The opposite is who they are at their core.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's always been a weird thing. When I wouldn't say weird, but actually, you know what? It's more
Peculiar.
humor. It's more humorous that they think we're like that.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's humorous because it's like it's like, really. Yeah, I mean, from everything, from food I eat to how my day is spent, to it's just like, I don't know why this is hard for you. It's called peace. That's all. So I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. They don't want peace.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. And I mean, you can't put a price on that, man. If you can get it and run with it. It's
Hey,
very.
people. Yeah, most people just run from it.
Mm, yeah.
They want
Uh,
they want chaos. So
yeah.
hey, have at it,
Yeah. Like you say, if you like it, I love
man.
it.
Get more of it.
Yeah, just don't bring it to my house. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, if you try and bring it to my house, I got something for you.
Exactly. And yeah, and you know all the stuff in my garage. So, so it's not gonna be a good day for you at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
Um Snuggles is yelling out at you.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
No, I've already spoken
oh, okay. Well,
to
she
that
put a
one.
whole bunch of exclamation marks, so I
Yeah,
didn't know if she was trying to get your attention. Um.
no, she's good. I think she's just speaking back.
Oh, okay. But yeah, but like I said, like I said, they willingly they just want to do it. Like I said, it's just no consequences, no responsibility. If it goes wrong, I get to blame somebody else instead of myself, and it's like a normal day.
Yeah,
I hate to say that, but it's a normal day, you know.
and all
So
that you just described, is how that's how gods are born.
yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
But again, it'll work out how it's supposed to work out.
yeah.
Like he said, he made people for both sides. He made those who will do his bidding, and he made those who won't, because he will use them to get his point across. You know.
Hey, it is what it is. But all right, I think I think we ain't got to go no further. I think we've had a good barbershop talk here today.
Yeah.
Um, if you haven't, next Sunday, if you haven't seen, next Sunday we'll be having another installment of Black Widows of the Bible. That I think that's going to be another fun one we'll have. Um, being, everybody thought that these women of the past were so feminine and sweet. We'll go into it because there's no way that they could have had baby mama drama in Israel, is there? Well, we'll find out. We get into that we get into that next Sunday, and
uh,
we'll have fun.
uh, hey, I'm sorry. Hey Ray, I don't know what you mean. Okay, bet. I'm assuming you're talking about next week. And
Yeah, I
I
guess so.
had I had I had wanted to say something to Ray too from earlier.
Okay,
Um, what was it?
well, go ahead then.
Oh yeah, yeah, Ray. The babbling to the Most High. I'm with you, bro. I it took me a long time to get out of that habit. It took me a long time because I just keep going on and on and on. And as we've established on this show, I can do that pretty good. so, but yeah, I get what you're saying though. That was hard for me too at first. But it's probably the only time whenever I'm talking or thinking where I gotten to the point that I don't babble. It's very clear, very concise, and to the point. So yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. That was it. I just wanted to address that with him.
Gotcha. Well, if that's all that Lawrence got, I know he's always on hashtag me and first. And you know me. Don't be a hospital gown nigga. Peace.